Hey, it's Rich. We're back in New York City. I'm back on my bike, on my Royal Enfield, after a few days on a Harley in Los Angeles. And we're in, I guess this is Brownsville, Brooklyn, which is a part of New York City that most people who don't live here don't know about, and even most people who live in New York City probably never come to. But it's in between Howard Beach, where JFK Airport is, and the city, if you go the way I'm going. And we're here today because I had an adventure coming back from LA at JFK Airport, and I was rescued by the FDNY, by the fire department today. To tell the story, I had a great time with the Harley. You saw the videos. I came home around midnight looking forward to being back on my own bike. And I got on the air train and went to the long-term parking area where the motorcycle parking was. My bike was fine. The cover was on. Hang on just a second. Let's take this first. The cover was on. Accessory lights came on when I put the key in, so I figured no problem. But when I tried to start it up, the battery had drained just enough that it wouldn't quite turn over. And I tried for a few minutes with the battery getting weaker, and then I decided, screw this. It's 1 o'clock in the morning, and I called an Uber black car on my phone and rode home, leaving the bike at the airport. So today, mid-afternoon, I headed over back to the airport on the subway. It's actually not so hard to get to on the subway from my house. It's one train from literally below my apartment building to Howard Beach, which is the JFK station on the A. And from Howard Beach, it's just one short stop on the air train to the Lefferts Boulevard air train station where the motorcycle was parked. So, what kind of car is that? A Brabus. That's a side comment. So, I get to the motorcycle parking today, and the Port Authority, which runs the airport, offers, rescue service. They'll come and, jumpstart you or help you out if you're in a situation of urgency. And I already called ahead and let them know that I had a dead motorcycle and so forth, and they said we haven't had to jumpstart a motorcycle before, but we're happy to do it for you. So I was expecting to call them. When I got there, I started up the bike, or tried to start up the bike, and it started right up. That is, it groaned to life, I guess. I wouldn't say it started right up, but it did eventually start. And so I thought, great, the battery was not quite as dead as I had feared it was. It had just enough juice to start it. And I drove it a few miles to the Starbucks in Howard Beach because I had some work to do, and I did my work. And I came back out to the bike, and it wouldn't start again. And I thought, oh, God. I checked, is the side stand down? Because on the Royal Enfields, if the side stand is down, the engine won't turn over. There's a cutoff switch. And no, it's not a side stand problem. And in fact, trying to start it with the side stand down creates different symptoms than the ones that I was seeing. I even tested. So it was the battery. And I thought, ugh, this is a terrible fate to befall me, because I'm 20 miles from home in a neighborhood of Queens where I don't know anybody, where I am, I would say, socially a standout. It's a very clean-cut, military, Republican neighborhood, and I'm none of the above. And so, what do? The first brilliant idea I had was, I was on Cross Bay Boulevard, and I had a memory that there was a Honda motorcycle dealer on Cross Bay. So I called them, and I said, if I walk my bike in, will you give me a jump start? And they said, well, we'd be happy to, but the Howard Beach location closed during Hurricane Sandy and isn't open, and your call's been forwarded to Bayshore, Long Island. So that was a non-starter. Non-starter. So my second thought was, all right, find the closest gas station. So I found about 2 blocks away a gas station, a Hess station. I walked the bike down there across the street. You know, like most gas stations nowadays, all they do is sell gas and, you know, chips and coffee and chocolate bars and so forth. And I asked, you know, could they jumpstart me? No. Did they sell jumper cables? Well, yeah, but they were out. So I stood around the gas station for 10 minutes like a chump, asking all and sundry if they would rescue me, if they had jumper cables, if they would jumpstart me, or as they say in the South, jump me off. And, you know, people were friendly, but no one was able to help. And I knew that eventually, I mean, I knew I wasn't going to be stranded overnight. Eventually someone would come along. But I was getting tired of waiting, and I had the brilliant idea of going across the street to the fire department engine company. I think it was engine company number 330 on Cross Bay Boulevard in Howard Beach. I figured if anyone will come to the rescue of people in a way like this, in a situation like this, it's the fire department. And I walked down the side of the station. I could see a door open, and I stuck my head in, and I got a lecture from a fireman saying, don't just walk in the door of the fire station, which, okay, fine, but it's not like the front entrances are particularly inviting either. But it turns out in the front, there's a main door with a doorbell, and I rang the doorbell, and a fireman came out, and I asked, is there someone who can give me a jump start? And he said, hold on, let me see if someone's got a battery. And he went inside, and 30 seconds later, a very friendly fireman came out with jumper cables and said, I'd be happy to help you. So I rolled the bike down the driveway of the fire station to one of the trucks. He gave me a quick start. We connected the cables. The bike started right up. I rolled it backwards down the aisle and out to the sidewalk, and I'm on my way home. Thanks to the fire department, FDNY, engine company 330 in Howard Beach. Thank you very much for your help. The only problem is that I couldn't put the battery cover back on, because to secure the battery cover you need the key, and I can't take the key out of the ignition because I need to keep the bike running to charge it up. So fortunately, inside the battery cover there's a rubberized strap with clips on the 2 ends of it, and that strap is what actually holds the battery in place, and that I was able to secure. So I don't know if you can see this, but down here below my seat I've got an exposed battery with the terminals exposed but held in by the rubberized strap. And as soon as I get home, when I get to the garage, the bike by then will be charged up plenty. Plus it doesn't even matter because I'll have access to a trickle charger. And then I can kill the engine and put the cover back on. I was a little worried that the ergonomics of the bike were such that a part of my body would be in contact with a live terminal while I was riding, but fortunately someone thought of that, and I'm nowhere near anything live down there. So that's my fire department adventure. As for the bike itself, I have to say that after riding Harley Sportster 1200 for 96 hours, this bike feels like a toy in both the good and the bad senses of the word. It's extremely nimble. After riding the Harley, this bike literally goes where I think. And I feel much larger, and this bike feels much smaller. On this one, I'm 2/3 the weight of the bike. On the Harley, I'm only half the weight of the bike or less, and you can feel the difference. But on the whole, I'm happy to be back on my own ride. You know, I've ridden 1,600 miles on this thing. I know what it's going to do, and so I'm much more comfortable on it than the other one, as much as I enjoyed having all that extra power on the Harley. So that's enough for today from Linden Boulevard in East Flatbush, Brooklyn, New York, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.